about, you said you are a person living with a disability.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
It is correct. I am a person living with disability.
Okay. And before you are granted the certificate by the National Council for Persons with a Disability,
yes,
you must have been assessed.
I was assessed.
And
I've even been assessed just the other day in a renewal.
And that your request was approved from the minister downwards.
Yes.
And in your application, you indicated the nature of the disability which you are suffering from.
Yes.
Were you given a card?
I have a card.
You have a card?
It is here.
You have it there?
Yes.
I don't know, the card in your file reads, I don't know whether it is true, my lord, and I apologize if it's not the correct card.
Yes.
It says name D.K Marete. It indicates your registration number, and then it indicates the nature of disability, visual, mental. Is that a reflection of you?
I have a visual disability.
Yes.
Which has been with me for a long time.
No, I'm asking the second part, my lord.
No, that I have no mental issues. This was an error. I was warned about it by a colleague who is also, a person living with disability. I have never had time to have it addressed.
And this card was given to you, my lord, in 2015.
It was issued to me in 2015.
Yes.
I didn't realize that it was an error. I am diabetic.
No, I am not asking about that, my lord. When did you realize that there was a problem in your card, that there was the issue of mental?
I saw it from day one when the card was issued down there.
Yes.
I didn't think it was an issue because when I went to do my application to the director, persons with disability, I cited two issues. One, I have a visual issue. Two, I am diabetic. And occasionally I get affected by what we call low sugar issues, hypoglycemia. So when they looked at it, they dismissed the second issue as a case of disability. And that is where this error came in. From my record, which was in that original application, the issue of hypoglycemia, diabetic versus, oblique hypoglycemia, was taken or was translated to be mental disability, which will never be the case.
Okay, difficult question. I'm not a doctor. Again, my lord, since you joined the judiciary, you have also been having some personal issues with the registrar, with JSC, about your driver.
Yes.
And I have seen a letter from the principal judge of your court saying that the Honorable Mr. Justice D.K Marete has been having problems with the drivers since 2014. The last one walked away this week. What is the problem with the drivers?
When we came into the judiciary in 2012, I opted to use drivers who were civilian, not police. There's a Mr. Mwangi whom I had employed myself, and I requested that be employed by the judiciary so that he serves me in the absence of a police driver. I am not able to deal with the police drivers in the sense that I have a very rigid schedule. I do not drive because of my health issues. and also my choice. I am not a good driver. So I've always preferred that I have a civilian driver who is flexible and who is able to answer to my needs. So what happened is that my driver was, employed in 2013 on contract. When I raised an issue on that one, I was told, good enough, we can let us watch him for 1 year. And when we do that, we'll be able to assess whether he's suitable and material for permanent employment or not. 1 year down the line, on 7th of September 2014, when I was going when I was on my way to Kericho, the contract for this driver, Mr. Peter Mwangi Moria, was terminated. Thereafter, I went on a negotiation mission. The CRJ and Chief Justice Motunga, and we agreed that I would restate Mr. Mwangi so that Mwangi would be paid, and then he does referred to me, and he remains and serves me. Motunga left. That did not happen. I consulted the CRJ, and we had issues, and she told me that what we are going to do is wait for an opportunity and an advert and get Mwangi to apply so that we can formalize that employment. Well, I was not convinced, but that is not my area. I would not order what happens. So Chief Justice Maraga comes in, and the first week or month I go to see him over the same issue. And I do. And we agree with my Justice Maraga, the CRJ, that the CRJ looks into the matter. And all that time, from the 7th of September 2014, I have been paying my driver. In fact, Mwangi ultimately left in fury because I will not go to tell Mwangi that I am doing this matter for you. I'm negotiating with A, B, C, D, and E for you. That is not good, the best of practices. I was quiet. So we were there, and in year 4, he got tired and left. I got other people. Intermittently, police drivers would come in. So one lasted a day, another lasts a week. The best one lasted about 3 months, and they get very impatient and they take off. Reasons I will not be able to tell, but that is my matter with a driver. From 7th of September 2014, going to 6 years now, I have not had a driver who is supplied to me by the judiciary. I have paid my driver.
Okay. The second issue, you have been also having the issue of your personal aid, my lord. Is it a matter of concern to the commission?
It is a matter of concern, but when I become Chief Justice and come to Nairobi, it will not be an issue anymore. Why? My issue of hypoglycemia is an issue, a medical issue, which everybody should pay attention to. I cannot live alone whatsoever. So when you take me to Kericho, we have a home in Nairobi and a home at Chuka. When you take me to Kericho, my spouse must accompany me. When I take any safari or any venture for the judiciary, for my employer, which is out of my station, she must accompany me on grounds which are medical. Thank God we will be Chief Justice in so little time. And when we come to Nairobi, we shall not require any of those issues because we shall be home. The issue was when we served outside Nairobi, we will never serve Chuka. It will not work. So if you send us to Chuka and we are there and you agree that we should be at Chuka, we shall not ask for that. But in a true, it was a justice issue. This lady must follow me. Nobody is taking care of her. She has a home to take care of. She has her own issues. She has her own interests. Why won't you compensate her as my employer? I am entitled to an aid. The only differential is that this aid is so specialized that she must be my spouse. Did I answer or?
Okay, but you are paid allowance, some allowance. Since you joined
the disability allowance, which
yes.
has persons with the disability allowance, which is now 20,000 shillings, is not supposed to take care of that kind of things.
Yes.
No.
So
that one is an allowance which takes care of basics. Like if I wanted to take a taxi because of my disability, I would pay for that. If Mwangi was not there or my driver was not there and I'm not able to drive, I could hire a driver, etc., etc. It is not, there's a differential between that allowance, which is payable to everybody who is registered with the council and employed by the government or the judiciary, and the issue of aid. If you are not able to see, we would be able to get you somebody who walks you around to your place of work, to your home, and this person would have to be taken care of by your employer. It is the same situation I have. I am not able to live alone. I require somebody who must live with me. My Nazata will be dead in the next 3 days. So what happens? You are moving them out of their jurisdiction. They are home. So if you do, please take care of that, because it's part of the employment contract. That is my argument.
Okay.
And I'm saying very succinctly that if it is a Chuka matter where I have a home, if it is a Nairobi matter where I have a home, I would never touch a cent on that ground.
Okay. So if we appoint you, God willing, my Lord, as Chief Justice, but we don't give you Mangi, your driver, and your personal aid, you will transfer the office of the Chief Justice to Chuka.
I am not saying that is what I'm going to do. What I am saying is that if I'm Chief Justice and in Nairobi, the issue of the aid would evaporate entirely. It would only arise if we are moving out of my station to Nanyuki to check on 1 or 2 small things, Kisumu, name it, etc., because she would accompany me and be entitled to that which goes with that. But the aid, the employment status, nothing, because she has nothing to lose.
Okay. And lastly, my Lord, this is a small matter. I've also seen another issue which you have been constantly raising is the issue of the security. And from what I saw, you wanted the judiciary to provide security for your Ngata Rongai home, from again in Nyeri where you are working, maybe in Chuka where you are also reside sometimes. So do you want the judiciary also to provide the security for your 3 places of abode? If we, as you are writing also, this is one of the documents I saw, you have been writing about that to the CRJ. I
am not sure of that one, yes. But I remember I wrote on security sometimes around 2016, 2017. What had happened is that when we left for Kericho, we left our boy in the house. At the period of seeking security, the young man decided to go solo. He decided to go to hire a place for himself. So we sought security here, and we were even requested to do quarters for these people, and we did. I cannot remember the precise year. It must have been either 2017 or 2016, most likely 2017. But no security came to assist us at Ongata Rongai. So what I did was my public relations with my boy. And 1 year down the line, the place was vacant entirely. For 1 year, nobody guarded it. I thank God for that, for the security which was, divine. So the young man has gotten back. I would not require any security. If you look at my history, I am not very fanciful of issues of security. I can walk anywhere, even as Chief Justice. I have not offended anybody. I have not taken anything from anybody. If you throw a stone to me, you can only be an aggressor. That's my theory of life. I am very, very simple. Simplicity is a hallmark of my life. I have never requested for any security for Chuka. If anybody tells you that, if it is in my writing, let me look at that. I have never requested any security for Nyeri. I have never requested for any security for Kericho. I have never requested for any security for Eldoret. The few months that I lived there, about 2 years, security is not my fancy. Even as Chief Justice, it will not be an issue to me. You might want to force me into it. The government might want to force me into it, but that one we would have to negotiate. I am not insecure whatsoever.
Thank you very much, Judge, and I wish you well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
Honorable Judge, just a small clarification about the card, because you said you just renewed it. There's a new card now. Is that, am I right?
I do not have a new card.
Or is the same one?
I've never had time to go and, I have a renewal of this card.
Okay.
Yes, but I was warned about it by those who are experienced in this game.
Thank you, Honorable Judge. I will now request Commissioner Judge Majaja to take you through some questions also. Judge?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, my Lord.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, my Lord.
Yes, I'll follow up some of the issues that have been raised by my colleagues who have preceded me. The Honorable, the Deputy Chief Justice quoted to you a quote by Ronald Dawkins, one of the leading